What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if God of War Ragnarok is releasing sooner than we think. I guess technically, maybe sooner than I think. I've been saying for a while, I personally think the game is like a late 2022 thing. Not everybody agrees with that, and that may look pretty bad for me, down the line when I'm proven hopefully wrong, and I want to be proven wrong, right? I want this game out as soon as possible. I'm not demanding it, right? We're not getting our pitchforks out there and storming the castles, demanding the game comes out tomorrow, but obviously I'd like it as soon as possible. If it wants to release, the first half of next year instead of the second half, that is completely cool. I've just always had that sense that it was never going to happen in 2021, right? That Sony was kind of lying to us about that, even though they say they're not. I just have a feeling, and that it would come out late next year. However, people have done some detective work, not even that much detective work, but if you go on the PlayStation Store, in the coming soon section, God of War Ragnarok is on that list, and it's on the list with a lot of other games that are coming out either like right now or at the latest, really the first couple months of next year. Now, there are a couple examples of games that we don't really know, so that, that kind of is in there, but I guess it does count for something. This is not like a slam dunk guarantee, but I do think it's a good sign just in general that the game, like I said, like actually the title of the video is, right, that it could be coming sooner than we think, or at least than I think, the end of next year. I mean, this is on a list with like Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, which comes out tomorrow, Far Cry, right? There's a lot of games, like I said, that come out like right now. Call of Duty's there, Battlefield is there, Back for Blood. So you got a lot of games that are coming out the next like month or two. But then you also have games like Sifu, Horizon, like we know those games are obviously in February. Gran Turismo, that's got the date, right? I believe early March. Now there are like one game that catches my eye, or I guess maybe two, right? Ghostwire Tokyo. Ghostwire Tokyo catches my eye for a different reason, but Little Devil Inside is one that kind of stands out, right? Because this was a game that a lot of people, including myself, thought that would come out this past July. Now July has come and gone. In fact, it feels like it was a year ago that July happened, and no Little Devil Inside. So I guess the point I'm also trying to make here, right, is that, and I've already said it, this is not a set in stone thing. Things can happen. Games that are on this list, for whatever reason, could very easily be pushed, where they're not coming soon. Now they're coming in a few months from now, right? We really, it's not an absolute guarantee. And again, games like Sifu is actually kind of an example, right? Because that game was supposed to come out around nowish, around the next couple months, and obviously it was pushed, which is fine. I'm not saying like it's a bad thing, but it was pushed to February. Stray, I believe Stray doesn't even have an actual release date, but we know that's probably coming out around that same-ish time. Again, Little Devil Inside, really, the term coming soon probably is applied to that game for like years. In fact, remember, people have told me that game was actually originally started as a Wii U title. So that this game has been talked about or just been like existing for a long time. So I guess you could have used the term coming soon for like the past 3 years and not technically been right or wrong for that game. But again, see, that's the example. Like, we don't really know, but Sony classifies it as coming soon. Now, does that mean that PlayStation Store and PlayStation in general, does that mean they know something we don't? It's very possible. In fact, it's very likely that hopefully Little Devil Inside comes out within the next, 5-6 months. But what I think this does show is the likelihood, specifically God of War, right? The likelihood of this game coming out, let's even say the first 5 or so months of the year, are pretty high. They're higher than I think they were a few days ago when this, when this didn't happen. Now, remember, God of War 2018, I believe, I don't want to get the date wrong, but so I'm just going to guess, April 18th, somewhere around there, or April 11th, somewhere in the mid-April period was when, 2018's game came out. So, if it came out this April, which is actually what somebody like me said a few years ago, other people, I think, it makes sense to try to line it up historically with when you've put out games in the past. I think God of War 3, okay, which would have been, I guess Ascension came out after that, but God of War 3, I think that was May. That was somewhere in like that first half of the year, but kind of like towards the end of the first half of the year. So they do have a history. I mean, you look at it, right? They do have a history with putting games out in that time. Now, again, could it be delayed? Could Sony want it for like a holiday thing, right? Maybe, but maybe Sony has other stuff for that time anyway. Again, look, bottom line, if it comes out in March or April, which I do think is more of the light. I don't think, January, February, it's just not going to happen. Especially, I would even argue because of Horizon. And I would even argue Horizon kind of extends probably like a month or so past it. We've seen this example with Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us last year, where there was about, not fully, but there was about 3.5 weeks in between those games. I think that's like a sweet spot. I don't think you want two major PlayStation exclusive games coming out within 2 to 3 weeks of each other. So I really think at the earliest and that's something honestly you have to think about. Really, I don't really see anybody saying that, but I really think that's absolutely something that goes through their heads, and we're not getting this game until at least like the last week of March. So I would actually argue, yeah, April makes the most sense. April for, 4-year anniversary of God of War 2018. You put it out there, April, May, somewhere in that period, I think makes a lot of sense. That way, again, like you look at the year that Sony's really crafting, we only really know the first half so far. But I mean, you come in with Sifu, which I know it's not for everybody. You have like Sifu, Stray, which are smaller things. But then you have Horizon. Then you have Gran Turismo, right? And Gran Turismo is big just for a different audience. And then you have God of War. And say you have those in back-to-back, February, March, April, or February, March, May. I mean, that's really good to start the year off. You still have Final Fantasy 16. You have Forspoken, which probably also comes out in the first, 4 to 5 months of the year. So you're really, specifically in the first half of the year, if you're PlayStation, if God of War releases, you're going to kill it. And then the second half, I mean, we really don't know anything, but again, maybe God of War makes it there. We don't really know, but going to be very exciting. Definitely, again, it's not, I mean, I'll own up to it. If I'm wrong I'll stick with my prediction that it's still a second half of the year game, that it's still like a holiday game. But if I'm wrong, I mean, again, this is one of those things that I want to be very, very wrong about, because I want to play the game as soon as possible. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. When do you think it's going to release? As always, make sure you guys are subscribed if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Obviously, I'll be covering God of War quite a bit. I have covered it quite a bit. If there's anything new or anything interesting I think of, I'll definitely, throw a video together on it. Make sure, if you guys haven't followed me on Twitter or subscribed to my second channel, links are in the description, along with links to our Patreon and YouTube memberships if you guys want to support us there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.